Take a slow breath before you continue listening, because nothing here is meant to rush you, frighten you, or pressure you in any way. This message arrives quietly, the way clarity often does, not with noise but with a gentle sense of recognition, as if something inside you already knew it was coming. There are moments in life when the soul grows tired not from doing too much, but from carrying too much without being understood, and this is one of those moments meant for rest, not resistance. You may have been feeling a subtle heaviness recently, not sharp pain, not overwhelming sadness, just a quiet weight that follows you through your thoughts, especially during still moments. That weight is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign that your inner world has been asking for space to breathe. Healing does not always arrive through dramatic change, often it begins when you finally allow yourself to pause without guilt and listen without judgment. This message is not here to tell you that something is wrong with you, because nothing is broken within you. It is here to remind you that understanding takes time, and peace grows when you stop demanding immediate answers from your own heart. You have spent so long being strong, patient, and composed that you may have forgotten how powerful gentleness can be, especially toward yourself. There are thoughts you revisit again and again, not because they are unresolved, but because they are asking to be seen with compassion instead of control. When you stop trying to force clarity, clarity naturally finds you. This is the season where healing happens quietly, where growth happens internally before it ever shows on the outside, and where peace becomes a choice rather than a reward. You do not need to compare your journey with anyone else's timeline. What is unfolding for you now is personal, intentional, and aligned with your inner readiness. Reflection is not stagnation, it is preparation. The calm you are being guided toward is not an escape from responsibility, but a deeper connection with wisdom that already lives within you. Allow yourself to soften your expectations, not your values. Let go of the idea that you must constantly prove progress. Some of the most meaningful transformations happen when nothing visible seems to be changing at all. This is a time to trust the process of becoming without forcing outcomes, to honor the lessons that arrived quietly, and to forgive yourself for the moments when you did not know what you know now. As you listen, notice how your breathing naturally slows, how your thoughts begin to settle, how your inner dialogue becomes kinder. That is not coincidence. That is alignment. Peace does not come from controlling the future, it comes from accepting the present with awareness and grace. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where understanding begins. Let this message rest within you, not as instruction, but as reassurance. Healing is already happening, even if you cannot measure it yet. Reflection is already guiding you, even if answers have not fully formed. Calm is already returning, not because everything is perfect, but because you are learning to be gentle with what is still unfolding. As you continue listening, allow yourself to remain unguarded, not because you must believe anything blindly, but because your heart deserves a space where it does not need to defend itself. So much of your life has been shaped by adapting, adjusting, and staying composed even when you felt uncertain inside. This moment is different. This moment asks nothing from you except honesty with yourself. There is a quiet truth many people never pause long enough to hear. Healing does not arrive when everything is fixed, it arrives when resistance ends. You may have spent time wondering why certain feelings return even after you thought you had moved on, but those feelings are not failures. They are reminders. They return gently, asking not to be erased, but to be understood more deeply. You are entering a phase where awareness becomes more important than answers. Awareness of how you speak to yourself when no one is listening. Awareness of how often you carry responsibility that was never meant to be yours. Awareness of how peace slips away not because life is heavy, but because you forget to place your own heart somewhere safe. This message does not rush you toward change. It invites you into alignment. Alignment with your inner pace, your emotional truth, and the wisdom you gained through experiences that once felt confusing. Every season of your life taught you something, even the quiet ones, even the painful ones, even the moments where nothing seemed to make sense at all. Right now, reflection is working in your favor. When you slow down, you notice patterns. When you notice patterns, you regain choice. When you regain choice, peace stops feeling distant. You are not meant to relive the past, but you are meant to understand how it shaped the strength you now carry without realizing it. You may notice that your priorities are shifting. Things that once felt urgent no longer hold the same power. Conversations that drained you now feel unnecessary. This is not detachment, this is clarity. Your soul is refining what it allows to stay close. Calm does not mean indifference. Calm means discernment. There is a gentle rebuilding happening within you. Not loud. Not dramatic. Quiet and intentional. You are learning to trust your instincts again, not the ones shaped by fear, but the ones shaped by experience. You are learning that peace is not something you earn after suffering, it is something you allow by releasing what no longer needs your attention. Understanding also requires forgiveness, not always toward others, but toward yourself. Forgiveness for the times you stayed too long, tried too hard, or expected yourself to be stronger than you were ready to be. You did the best you could with what you knew then. That truth matters now. As you listen, notice how your body responds. Calm often arrives physically before it is understood mentally. Shoulders soften. Breath deepens. Thoughts lose their sharp edges. These are signs that your inner world is responding to safety. Safety is essential for healing. Without it, reflection becomes self-judgment. With it, reflection becomes wisdom. You are not required to make any major decisions right now. Stillness is productive when it is intentional. This is a time to observe, to integrate, to let insight rise naturally instead of forcing conclusions. Some answers arrive only after patience has done its work. This message honors your journey, not by labeling it special, but by acknowledging its depth. You have lived through enough to understand that peace is not the absence of difficulty, but the presence of inner steadiness. That steadiness is returning to you, slowly, honestly, and without pressure. Let these words stay with you not as instructions, but as permission. Permission to slow down. Permission to feel without explanation. Permission to trust that healing does not need to announce itself to be real. You are not falling behind. You are settling into alignment. As this message continues, allow your thoughts to settle without trying to organize them. You are not here to solve anything. You are here to listen inwardly. Some realizations only arrive when the mind stops searching and the heart feels safe enough to speak quietly. You have carried emotional weight for a long time without realizing how heavy it became. Not because you chose suffering, but because responsibility slowly blended into your identity. You learned to be strong, dependable, composed, and steady, even when you needed rest yourself. Strength served you well, but now balance is asking to be included. There is a deeper understanding forming within you. It is subtle, but it changes the way you respond to life. You are beginning to notice that not everything requires reaction. Not every silence needs to be filled. Not every misunderstanding needs explanation. This awareness is not distance, it is maturity. Healing does not mean erasing memory. Healing means memory no longer controls your emotional present. You may still remember moments that shaped you, but they no longer define how you see yourself. That shift is important. It means your inner world is reorganizing around peace instead of defense. At this stage, your soul is learning discernment. You are becoming aware of which thoughts deserve your energy and which ones quietly drain you. This does not happen overnight. It happens through repeated moments of choosing calm over urgency, clarity over assumption, and understanding over self-criticism. You may find yourself craving simplicity. Less noise. Fewer explanations. More honesty. This is not withdrawal, it is refinement. Your inner system is filtering what aligns with your well-being. You are learning that peace is not passive. Peace is intentional. It is the quiet forgiveness that comes when you realize you no longer need resentment to protect yourself. You no longer need to replay old moments to justify your growth. You are allowed to move forward without carrying emotional proof. As you reflect, you may recognize that many of your worries were rooted in uncertainty rather than reality. Uncertainty about outcomes. Uncertainty about relationships. Uncertainty about your own timing. This message gently reminds you that clarity arrives step by step, not all at once. Trust grows through experience, not prediction. Your emotional intelligence has deepened through lived experience. You now sense when something feels off, without needing dramatic evidence. You notice when your energy shifts after certain interactions. These are not weaknesses, they are signs of attunement. You are becoming more aware of yourself, and awareness is grounding. There is a calm confidence developing within you. Not loud. Not performative. Quiet and steady. It shows up in how you pause before responding, how you listen without interrupting your own intuition, and how you no longer feel the need to prove your worth through constant effort. This phase of understanding invites patience. Patience with yourself, patience with timing, patience with unfolding clarity. Nothing is being withheld from you. Everything is aligning in a way that supports your long-term peace rather than short-term reassurance. You are not behind. You are not late. You are integrating lessons that will support you far beyond this moment. Integration takes time. It requires stillness. It requires self-trust. And it requires letting go of the pressure to become someone else. Let this message remind you that healing does not require perfection. It requires presence. Understanding does not require certainty. It requires openness. And calm reflection does not mean disengagement. It means conscious choice. You are allowed to rest in this awareness. You are allowed to breathe without expectation. You are allowed to move forward without carrying the weight of who you used to be. This is not an ending. This is alignment. As this message reaches its final movement, allow yourself to slow down even more than before. There is nothing left to chase here, nothing to prove, and nothing to fix in this moment. What matters now is presence. Presence with your breath, your thoughts, and the quiet awareness that has been growing inside you. You have come a long way, even if it does not always feel visible. Growth rarely announces itself loudly. It shows up in how you respond instead of react, how you pause instead of panic, and how you trust yourself more than you used to. These changes may seem small, but they reshape your inner world in lasting ways. There is a sense of completion unfolding within you. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are no longer fighting yourself. You are learning to stand beside your own emotions instead of standing against them. That shift brings stability. It brings self-respect. And it brings a calm confidence that does not depend on external validation. You may notice that your priorities feel clearer now. Things that once consumed your energy no longer hold the same weight. Not because they were unimportant, but because you have learned discernment. You understand now that your peace is valuable, and not everything deserves access to it. This clarity is not rigid. It is gentle and flexible. It allows you to care deeply without losing yourself. It allows you to remain open without becoming overwhelmed. And it allows you to move forward without carrying unnecessary emotional baggage. Your inner voice is becoming easier to hear. Not louder, but steadier. It does not rush you. It does not criticize you. It simply guides you toward what feels aligned. Trust that voice. It has been shaped by experience, reflection, and self-awareness. There is also acceptance settling into your heart. Acceptance of your past choices, acceptance of your learning curve, and acceptance of the timing of your life. Acceptance does not mean agreement with everything that happened. It means you are no longer resisting reality. And resistance was the heaviest burden you carried. You are now stepping into a phase where peace becomes a daily practice rather than an occasional relief. Peace in how you start your day. Peace in how you process challenges. Peace in how you allow things to unfold without forcing outcomes. This message invites you to remain grounded in that peace. Not by avoiding life, but by meeting it with clarity. When uncertainty arises, return to awareness. When emotions rise, return to breath. When doubt appears, return to self-trust. You are not alone in this journey, even when it feels solitary. Growth often feels quiet because it happens internally first. External changes follow later. Be patient with that process. The foundation you are building now supports everything that comes next. Let go of the idea that you must always be productive to be worthy. Rest is not weakness. Stillness is not stagnation. Reflection is not delay. These are essential phases of alignment. As you integrate what you have heard, allow it to settle naturally. You do not need to remember every word. What matters is how it made you feel. Calm. Grounded. Seen. Understood. Those feelings are signals of alignment. This is not an ending in the sense of loss. It is an ending in the sense of completion. A gentle closing of one inner chapter and the beginning of another that feels lighter, clearer, and more intentional. You are allowed to carry this calm forward with you. Into your decisions. Into your relationships. Into the way you speak to yourself when no one else is listening. This message remains with you not as a command, but as reassurance. You are on the right path. You are learning. You are becoming more yourself. And that is enough. If this message brought you a sense of peace, take a quiet moment before moving on. When you're ready, return to this space whenever you need clarity or calm.